to you, my beautiful brother. So I have here your spirit communication reading, and I'm just going to jump right into it. So let's focus on the overall theme and message of your reading. So you have quite a few cards here, so I'm going to take my time going through all of them. You have move forward, you have love, you have waiting, inner knowing, the letter B, bird, and B. So, and also bus tried to come out. So the letter B is very, I don't know if whose name begins with the letter B or something is very important with the letter B. So they want me to make that known to you. Bus, B itself, the letter B. But let's get into what the meaning of the B is for me, and I believe the message is for you. Busy like a bee is what I hear. You know, I really feel like your energy is busy like a bee, and what I mean when I say that is it's always going, always moving, always going to and fro, always doing for everyone. Busy like a busy bee, and I feel as though you're always working on a hive, you know, for someone, not just the queen, but I feel like that energy goes towards everyone in your life. Just kind of, it's almost like an autopilot thing, like a switch where you just do for people. That's just your way of being. It's not like it doesn't serve you on some level, subconsciously and consciously, but this is just your go-to. You know, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to do. I have things to do. Busy like a busy bee. So I feel like the overall message, one of them, is to learn to be still. Yes, be still. Take time for you. Take time for meditation. Take time for self-awareness. Take time for the understanding and overstanding and understanding of what it is that you need. So you're not always busying around like a busy bee, just because, I feel like. And
count your blessings.
Also with the bird, I feel like your loved ones, your ancestors, I feel like there's a brother coming through along with the cousin, because I think you guys were really young when you passed. You guys were really young, of course. I feel like they show up through birds. And I also feel like one of your spirit animal is like an eagle, like one of those powerful birds, it feels like an eagle. I wouldn't even say hawk, because I have a hawk as a spirit animal, but I believe yours is an eagle.
Joy,
Something of that nature is very important to you and your family.
humor.
It's like birds, so you'll see in this one, and we'll get to that one, but birds keep showing up in your reading, so that's definitely something that they want you to know. Pay attention to the birds. Pay attention
And a
to
grateful heart.
when they're showing up in your life and how they're showing up and what they're trying to communicate to you when you see them.
Love.
But I feel like it's kind of something you're kind of used to.
Love.
It's kind of the same thing. I see them all the time. And
It's all around.
Things are kind
It's
of chaotic.
inside.
I see 3 birds circling, 3 hawks.
And divinity, whatever we believe that to be.
While I'm walking, or just letting me know.
Connection, heaven, earth.
They want you to
Grounded
be aware of as well.
here in human
As far as
form.
communication goes.
Love.
Bluebird.
Worried and you can't sleep. Just count your blessings.
Loving yourself enough to move forward, because you have this
Forget
thing knowing
about
that you're kind of stuck and you feel like you're stagnant and waiting on something. And I feel like with the waiting being upright, I feel like your subconscious
with
mind
your blessings.
is like, this is what you were waiting for. This is this reading, this kind of
Don't you
pointing
worry
in like the
about
shift that this reading is going to make for you. So you're trying to bring you back to memories of into the conscious mind, so self-awareness and things of that nature is kind of what as you were saying, I believe not only the spirits of your cousin, but it's a lot. It's like a lot of male spirits, and not everyone's like it's some of you. It's a part of you that you lost when your cousin died, when the accident happened. It's like a part of you. And then it's like I said, a brother to you. The older brother seems as though, and then a piece of your brother that is still back there with you, a piece of you, and it's really, the best way I can go about explaining this is that when we have these traumatic events that happen in our life, first of all, a piece of the signatures of us are everywhere, meaning a piece of our essence is everywhere that we go, because energy follows us. So everything that we touch, we deposit a piece of energy from ourselves into that object, person, place, or thing. So when there are traumatic events that happen, pieces of us get lost. They get stuck. They get left there because consciously we can't handle what has transpired and what is going through. So we leave pieces of ourselves, especially when there's something traumatic, there in that space and place. So a lot of what I have been doing myself and learning to do with clients is do journeys, shamanic journeys, which is where you go into a certain realm, wherever that piece of that soul or that essence is present, and you pull that piece, you connect with that piece of that part of yourself, of your spirit. Let it be your inner child. For me, it feels as though this is a piece of your inner child that is communicating and trying to communicate with you as well. You connect with that piece and you try to bring peace to that piece of yourself so that it can now feel safe enough to integrate into your integrate into your conscious mind and come out of your subconscious mind, so it's not operating in the shadows, but it is now you have now given that piece of yourself a place and space to be acknowledged, to hold space for, to transmute and integrate all of those emotions that experience it, etc. So I feel like that is something that is taking place with this reading. Also, with your brother as well. So this is just the overall message is that there are signs and symbols all around you. And you need to take that time in order to really see the signs and symbols for yourself. You have to be still. And they want you to have that love for yourself that you have for everyone around you. Start pouring that into yourself by bringing awareness to the things that you need physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, because I feel like you just go through the motions like a busy bee, moving forward for everyone else, but it's kind of waiting and standing still subconsciously for yourself. That's why I say going through the motions, because pieces of you just stand still. They're not really moving. It's like not a conscious thing when you do what you do. That's the best way I can describe it. Not that it's coming from an empty space, because that's who you are. That's your soul. That's your spirit. But I feel like a lot of you is stuck, and that's why I'm glad that you are spiritually aware enough to allow yourself to get this reading, because I feel like this is a part of your inner child that is ready to be acknowledged and to speak to you. Okay? All right, so let's dive into it. All right, so who's coming through? Who's coming forward? Like I explained to you, it's a very unique situation because I feel like a lot of energy. I don't know if feel like you've lost people, in traumatic ways. And I also feel as though because of this, it's kind of made you open and connected, kind of a bridge to the spiritual world, the world of the spirits. Even though you may not be aware of this connection or opening, you do have it. So this Knight of Pentacles, it kind of feels like your brother, like your older brother. And this Knight of Pentacles didn't really achieve much in life, very uncertain about their self, their abilities, who they were, not really aware of being prepared for life. That's what I'm hearing, like not being prepared for life itself. So I feel like that's what that is. And then you have the Ace of Chalice. And I feel like the Ace of Chalice is like your cousin, because I feel like this card is all about being very, very emotional, allowing your emotions to overflow. And you see how this is in reverse. So it's just him acknowledging you not allowing your emotions to kind of flow, you not allowing this piece of yourself, this inner child that's stuck where this accident took place, to express itself, to connect with how deeply this event changed who you were, changed your life. There was a way that you had to be, there was a person you had to become to operate through this energy, in this energy, and through this energy. So you had to leave a piece of yourself behind. So with this card, it's all about allowing these emotions and this inner awareness to overflow into your conscious mind, so that the healing can begin. Because you see with the healing in reverse, it's just that it's them being aware of the fact that you haven't had the space and place to heal. And I feel like that happens a lot with you when it comes to death. I feel like you kind of go numb. You go into a place of like going through the motions. This is what I need to do. I got to be strong for everybody else. I can't really deal with this right now. It's sad, it's upsetting, but I'll deal with it at another time. And I feel like this is something that happens for you. And they're bringing that to your awareness, because with the prosperity coming in reverse, it's more so about not making you feel prosperous, not in a material way, but energetically. I feel like your energy is really big, and I feel like you kind of compress it. And it's not able to express itself, therefore it's not able to be as prosperous as you can be. I know you feel like your life is full, and it is, and it's beautiful, but I feel like the loved ones are saying there's so much that you can experience and can have and should be doing, but because you keep certain parts and aspects of yourself, especially your inner child, with these experiences kind of stuffed away or tucked away, it kind of blocks your prosperity. And then you have the physical abilities, psychic abilities in upright, psychic development and reverse, and death and reverse. Okay, so again, this is upright. I feel like to some extent you do have the awareness that you do have these abilities on some level, but I don't think you're really sure of what they are, how they are, how you can kind of apply them. So I feel like what they're trying to bring to your attention is you need some psychic development to kind of work on these gifts that you have and that you are aware that you have, but you don't really know what they are. Yeah. And I feel like they're trying to say is that there has to be a depth in the way you see. First of all, there has to be a acceptance of the deaths that have occurred within your life. I feel like you leave, just what I want to bring that to your attention. You leave pieces of yourself when people die. I feel like you don't allow yourself to process what has truly happened, what you've truly lost energetically. Like I tell people, even when you cut off friendships, there is a death and a grieving process that has to happen energetically, or something happens to the spirit, right? Because you lose something, and when you lose that energetic connection with that person, so there is a conscious awareness that needs to be brought, to your attention regarding that connection. and there's a process that you have to go through in order to kind of really accept that loss. And I feel like with this being in reverse, it's like they're saying that you have to start accepting these losses so you can really gain some insight and understanding of self. And I think that they're also trying to say that there's some psychic development that needs to happen. You and Tanya are not together by coincidence. Your union is absolutely divine, and I feel like just as she does these things, and I know you have this appreciation for who she is and what she's doing, but I also want you to understand that you have a part to play as well when it comes to healing and helping to uplift people on this planet and remind people of who they are, and that is going to be through your psychic gifts. So there's going to be some changes happening within your subconscious mind with that 5. And it's going to bring about some awareness of your psychic abilities. And you're going to want to start to learn about what it is that you're truly here to do, what your gifts are and how they can help people. You know, kind of like what I'm doing, but there are so many different things that you can do with your gifts to help people. Okay? So moving on is, how do your deceased loved ones see you now? So you have the omens in reverse, which is that bird again. You have the, sorry, that's my alarm. Okay, sorry about that, but that is, so I'm going to focus on this card right now because the alarm went off right when I talked about this omen, this card. This card is a hawk. So like I said, there's a lot of awareness that needs to be brought, an understanding of birds and what birds mean to you and how they are a significant part of your journey. This card is all about the understanding of the signs and what they're meant for you personally. And what this is saying is that you need to start looking into your power animals, your spirit animals, because I feel like that is a significant part of your journey. And with this being in a reverse and that alarm going off like that, it's like you have this awareness of this, but you're not really fully paying attention because you're too busy going through the motions and doing things for other people, like a busy bee for everybody else, but you're not really paying attention to the signs and things that are happening around you, especially when it comes to birds. They're like, man, come on. You know this, and you need to start paying attention to the signs and paying attention to what your animals are trying to tell you and what you need to be doing and what you need to be focusing on within your own journey. You know, it's good to be there and present for people around you, but that there also has to be this awareness and self-love for self, you know, and taking the time out for the things that you need. And then you have this always brings my attention to the sun. So like I said, there's a lot of masculine energy around you. So I feel like you know, with the cousin and with the brother and with it's like the great grandfather or grandfather energy that I've always felt that is around you. It's the awareness of the forgiveness, allowing yourself to forgive yourself. So I feel like you feel, for some reason or another, you guys feel guilty about this, as if it was your fault or something like that. I don't know if you guys were present or something, but you feel extremely guilty about not living to some extent, and that's why I feel like you have this numbness. You've left parts of yourself there because you won't allow yourself to just enjoy life. You feel this guilt that you are still living, and you're living such a fruitful existence, but it's like it's very detrimental to your life because you're kind of going through the motions, but you're numb because you won't, this is all you won't allow yourself to forgive yourself enough to be alive, to feel, to be alive. And I tell people, when you When you're living and you're not allowing yourself to feel, then you're not alive. Because honestly, the way that we experience life here is through feeling, sensation, feeling, and thus emotions, right? So if you're not allowing yourself to feel the feels, feel the emotions, then you can't really experience that, have that full experience that is needed to allow the spirit to integrate and understand what that whole experience and lesson was about. So you're not really living and you're not really growing. So you have to forgive yourself and allow yourself to live, because you are living and you are alive for a reason. You know, you're not just going through the motions, you are alive, and you're living. Okay, so and then with the integration, like I said, there's pieces of yourself. There are pieces of yourself that you left behind as a child because of this, and there's a piece of yourself, pieces, I feel, fragments of yourself that you have to retrieve. So you have to do some work. This reading is definitely going to help bring some awareness and help you kind of shift the energy, and memories are going to come back and things of that nature. But I feel like there's a ritual or something you need to do for your cousin and yourself to kind of allow certain pieces of you and certain pieces of yourself to be your cousin, and that day and that experience to be acknowledged, to be honored, to also be put to rest, though. And so that you can bring up that piece of yourself that was lost in that time and space. Because I tell people, just imagine you as a innocent child having to live in that space and that experience, that space and place and that experience over and over and over again. And that's how it is when you decide to not consciously be aware of something that has happened to you because you can't handle it. So you'll leave. It's not like it hasn't happened, and it's not like it's not continuing to happen back in your subconscious mind because you refuse to deal with it. So that piece of yourself, however, what age, it's just stuck in it. It literally is just, I swear that's how it is. It's literally just stuck in that space and place, to live there until you're ready to go get it, until you're ready to admit and deal with the feelings and the experience, and bring that piece of yourself along now consciously. So there's an integration that needs to happen, as they're saying, because that integration will allow you to have that new day. Because I feel like I told you, I feel like the sun goes up and down, but you're kind of like going through the motions, up and down, a new day, but it's like you're having these experiences, but you're not really present for them. Yep. Because with this joy being upright, and they're so proud of you. You should be in such a space of joy. And it's not that you don't want to be, but it's because you won't allow yourself to be, subconsciously, because of the guilt that you feel regarding, the death of your cousin, and not only that, but the death of yourself, a part of yourself that you had to leave behind because you felt like you had to survive. You were in survival mode. You didn't really know how to process it all with so much going on. And then after that, like you said, your brother went through a time. So you've always been that kind of person that is the rescuer, the one that's caring for everyone else. But that can be very, very detrimental and not good for you, because you put yourself on the back burner and you forget about yourself, and you don't allow yourself to live, because you're living for everyone else, right? So they really are joyful in how you have, how life has transpired for you, but they're also in a space of where they just want you to be able to see the joy and feel. It's more so, I feel like the feel thing is a big thing for you, to feel the joy that is manifested, that you have manifested for yourself in your life. Okay. All right. So moving on. We are going to what lesson do they want you to learn from their death, or what lesson they want you to learn from their death. And I tell people every death, or every physical death, or just a letting go of energy is a death, you know. A letting go of a way of thinking, a belief system, that's a death, you know. That's why when I tell people the death card comes up, it doesn't always mean physical death. When there's an end of a cycle, that's the death of that cycle, right? So what do they want you to really get from their passing? So you have thinking in the upright, which is 44, counselor, clairvoyant, artificial heart, forgetting oneself, and cleanup. All right, so let's start with the thinking. So you're a thinker, which is good. It's not like they're not saying, you know, you need to be able to logically think your way through life. Yes, but a lot of times, because of there's so much stimulation to the mind, right? Because most people are ruled by the mind and the emotional body. You get lost in your thoughts, you know, and this is something you're aware of because you see that the card is in upright position. So it's not like this is something that is completely bad with the 44. I feel like it has to do with the 44. It has to do with your thinking your way through things. It also has to do with your psychic ability with the 44. Meaning that you have to be able to balance and integrate the part of yourself that has that deep inner knowing, that just knows, doesn't have any scientific proof, doesn't you know, to everyone else to be like, how do you know? You know, you're like, I just know, you know. This is something, a part of yourself that they want you to kind of lean more into, because you've been on the road, the thinker road, you know. The road is the thinker. Counselor. So what they're saying is, there's two things I got from this. That you are I don't know if you've ever even thought about being a counselor, but this is something that you're really, really good at. You make people comfortable. You make people want to tell you stuff. You make people open up to you and become vulnerable to you about what is going on. You have this energy, this comforting energy that is able to counsel. And I also feel like if you feel that you need counseling when it comes to shifting through your energy, do that. But I mainly feel as though they're saying, and I feel like with this counseling is like you guys were, the way that you guys were kind of brought up, and I feel like this is coming from your family, you know, like the way that you guys were brought up. It was like a man doesn't really have time to feel, you know what I mean? We don't really have time to process this kind of shit. We got stuff to do, you know what I mean? We got to build homes and you know, knock down trees and stuff like that. But I feel like there's an awareness of counseling, needing to have it. If you feel as though that's something that you need, they're saying, yeah. But also that this is an ability that you have that you may not be aware of, and that your spirit may be calling you to do, you know, to be able to give guidance to people, to reassure people that all is well. But I feel like this is something you have to work through within yourself first before you could give advice and things to other people. And clairvoyance, thank you, Spirit, thank you to your ancestors and your the spirits that are coming through, because with this being in the upright, the clairvoyance, they're saying you have the gift of sight. So when we were talking about psychic abilities earlier, this is one of the abilities that they're saying that you kind of know that you have, but you don't acknowledge it at all. So this is something that they want you to acknowledge, the gift, the sight beyond the veil. And this is something that I feel like maybe your older brother did not really acknowledge, or but they're saying that this is something that they really want you to start to look into regarding yourself, because there is more to life than the physical. Absolutely. 1000%, right? And then with the artificial heart, I feel like with the artificial heart, 2 plus 1 equals 3. You know, you have to bring that mind, soul, and body. But I feel like it's the mind, the heart, the soul, and the body into, and with the body, I say heart, you know, into alignment, because I feel like your heart, and I don't feel like you're being fake. That's what I'm saying. The artificial heart is usually when you're being fake about something, or you fake it till you make it. I mean, on some level, maybe we could say that, right? But I feel like, because you kind of go through the motions, and you're almost on autopilot when you do all of the stuff that you do, and I don't feel like it's from a place that is fake. I don't feel like that, but I do feel like you don't allow yourself to be present. And so I think that they're bringing that to your attention. Don't just fake the funk. You know, if you feel certain things, bring your awareness to it and express that. Don't allow yourself to just fake the funk or go through the motions. You know, you need to be aware. You need to be able to feel, because you do feel and you do see, and you need to acknowledge that. And forgetting yourself and upright, this is 7 plus 1 plus 7 is 8. So when you're forgetting yourself, you're not loving yourself enough, and you get kind of stuck in this karmic loop. And this is where pieces of yourself, where you start to not be able to feel, and that's why you're feeling the way you feel now, kind of numb, or why can't I access, you know, these parts of myself where I'm truly enjoying myself, or I'm truly happy, or I'm truly connected to this experience. And this is because, like I said, there are pieces of yourself that have been lost, that you haven't integrated into the now. They're still stuck in the past. They're not in the present. And this is why you feel disconnected. And it's because you're not starting with yourself. You're not caring for yourself. You're not bringing that awareness to self about the things that you need physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And it starts with spirit. I tell everyone, everything starts with spirit. And then it manifests into the physical body, the physical awareness, etc. So there are things that you have to work on spiritually, so you can start connecting and feeling more. And like I said, we can walk through something, you can do like a candle or some kind of ritual you can do to start to connect to your inner child that was lost, and release and put the rest, your cousin, and things of that nature, so you can start moving forward. Because I feel like when it comes to the deaths, or people getting sick, or things happening, you kind of like go on autopilot and disconnect, and don't allow yourself to process or feel, because you're too busy, doing for everyone else. And then you have the cleanup. So with the cleanup, it's all about releasing. And the cleanup has to do with, when I see this card, I always think about the internal. So 2 plus 1 is 3, the mind, body, and soul. So cleaning up the subconscious mind, cleaning up the thoughts and the behaviors and the belief systems that keep you stagnant, cleaning up your old perspective, or your old way of seeing life, and therefore experiencing it. So they're like cleaning up things that no longer serve you, letting go, forgiving, putting yourself in a space of place where you can release some things, where you can let go of some things that are no longer serving you. I feel like in a lot of times in life, maybe your older brother, but I feel like as a family unit, sometimes you guys kind of hold on to things and you don't release things. And I feel like you do too. I feel like even though you believe that you do, subconsciously you hold on to a lot of stuff, and you don't allow yourself to release it energetically. It's still there, just piling up. And that's why you have this disconnect with your everyday reality, All right. So next, sorry for that, buddy. Okay, so what advice do they have to give you on your journey so far? All right, I got a lot more. Okay. What is the most limiting belief keeping you from what it is you want right now. This is your throat chakra, so speaking up for yourself a lot more. Reconnect with the mother, plant and harvest. Clear your mind, be present, focus, and embrace, and passion. So there, with this in the upright, I feel as though you are focusing on your passion, but they're saying you need to trust it a lot more. You need to pour more into yourself and what it is that you're doing, your passions and your career and your life, and the things that you love to do and the things that you want to manifest. I feel like you do that for everyone else and you don't really do it for yourself. Clearing your mind and focusing on the present. I think a lot of times because you're such a thinker, you get lost either in the future, you're paranoid on what it is that you need to do, what you haven't done, or what you should be doing, and in the past memories, like I feel like this accident still comes up for you. Things that should be dealt with are still kind of replaying in your subconscious mind and in your memory, which keeps you stuck there. Same thing in the future. If you're thinking about tomorrow that hasn't even happened, you're stuck in that loop. The present, being present, the here and now, this moment right now that I'm speaking, or this moment that you are in right now listening to me, is the only thing that is real. Everything else is not. So you have to learn how to make sure you're keeping yourself present, right? And not going somewhere else in your mind. Reconnecting with the mother. Like I said, you guys are very, very spiritually connected to the land, especially where you are. Your ancestors are everywhere, and I feel like what'll help you a lot is being more out in nature. I feel like you do that, but I feel like you need to do that alone. Spend time by yourself, not around so many people, because I feel like you guys are very, very social butterflies. You entertain a lot and things of that nature and give a lot of your time and energy to the people, places, and things around you, but I feel like it's now a time where you have to start giving to yourself, having that alone time, even, just you, where you're just alone with your thoughts and your emotions, and bringing your awareness to certain things that need to happen so that you can move forward in life. And what is the most limiting belief keeping me from what it is I want now? So with this being in reverse, first of all, you need to speak up a little bit more about the things that you need. You're not doing that. And what is it regarding your perspective that's keeping you small, that's keeping you, what is it about, what is it, is it your self-doubt, your lack of belief in yourself? What is it that is keeping you in a space and place where you can expand? Because I feel like energetically you kind of tuck yourself off in a box, in a drawer. It's like I literally see you putting pieces of yourself in this, like you have this file cabinet subconsciously, like, and there's certain pieces of yourself you kind of tuck off and put them, close the drawer in there and keep them in there. And that's how you walk through life. And you'll pick them out sometimes, but not a lot at all. And that, like I said, with this inner child thing, you really haven't. You recently started thinking about it and dealing with it, but you've just tucked off that piece of yourself away and have kept it locked up energetically. And these aspects of yourself, they don't just die, because energy doesn't die. They just keep living in that loop until you deal with it. Okay. Same thing with your subconscious mind and desires. Your passions and things that you're not acknowledging that you need. They're there, and they're like pissed, you know what I mean? Because they're not there. It's a part of you energetically, and you're just not acknowledging it. Okay. All right. So next, all right. What did I do? I think I did that already. Oh, sorry. What do they? What are some regrets that they would have? Okay. Sorry, I got lost and trying to hear something. Okay. So, do I surround myself with people who uplift me? So, with this, let's start with the financial health. I feel like I'm being called to this. The regret, I feel like your older brother or like the older energy, because I feel like it's just more than one person. I feel like there's more than one. I think there's your brother, there's a grandfather, and then a great grandfather, right? I feel like that. With this being in the upright position, it's like your financial health is great. It's not like you don't bring in the money. You know, that's they're very, very proud of you, because I feel like maybe your lifetime or their lifetime, they weren't as successful as far as finances goes. So this is something that they're acknowledging, that you have been able to, a curse that you've kind of been able to lift in some form of fashion. Yeah. So that's that, to acknowledge that. But I feel like, and that you do surround yourself with people and places that uplift you. But I feel like with this, it's like with the crown chakra, it's like, I feel like you're the person, though. It's weird. It's like, I feel like you do surround yourself with people, places, and things that uplift you. But I feel like in those people, places, and things, you're like the main uplifter. Does that make any sense? It's like yeah, but you're still outdoing everybody. If that makes any sense. And so it's like because you're so energetically big, right? So it's like, hey man, you got to start pouring into yourself, because you have a lot to give people, but you're kind of burnt out on some level because you're not giving to yourself enough. And I know you're like, well, I do little things, and they're like, nah, you need to be doing a lot more, because you don't just do little things for people. I mean, you really go all out for everybody else. That's just your nature. But again, you lose yourself in that aspect of yourself. That's why it feels like you're kind of going through the motions when you do things, because you lose yourself in that, and you disconnect yourself with other parts. You know, you're not whole, you're fragmented. Yeah. May you be a lighthouse. Yeah, because with this being a lighthouse, I feel like you are a light worker. I feel like you're here to do some light work, like your wife. And it's like you don't allow yourself, you do allow, see, that's why I say it's like funny, because you do allow yourself to shine and people to come to you and people to benefit from the light that you have. But it's like you don't allow yourself to benefit from it. That's what it is, if that makes any sense. You don't allow yourself to benefit from your own time and energy. You know, you're giving it out to everybody else. And then with the answers, it's like the understanding that all the answers that you need are within you, and everything that you need you already have. And that's a regret. It's like looking outside of yourself for stuff, whatever that may be energetically, having that need and lack for something, and not understanding that everything you need is within you. So just taking the time to be still. I feel like that's a big thing. Excuse me. Be still and sit with self. Listen to those thoughts. Where are they coming from? Where's the root cause of that thought? Why am I having that thought? Is that thought a negative or positive thought? Why? You know? These are the things I feel like you need to focus on. All right. All right. So, what gifts are they revealing to you that they want you to know that you have? So you have the home all in reverse, which is wonderful. Blessings in the upright. Blessings in reverse. Finding in reverse. Memories in reverse, and acceptance in reverse. So the gift they want to give you, I heard so loud when I pulled this cards out, to the fact where I got scared. And I do work with spirits all the time, but it's like release, letting go, acceptance. I swear I heard that a lot. So it's like giving yourself the okay to be like, okay, it's okay to let go. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to mourn this part of myself, to mourn this chapter in my life, this experience. It was horrible. It was bad. I lost a piece of myself, of the way that I connected and interacted. Because I feel like you're not close with your family as much after that. I feel like the dynamics changed a great deal, and there was a way you had to operate in order to survive. And I feel like that's something that's also being acknowledged. So just the acknowledgement and the understanding that you need to accept this part of your life and let it go and release it, and not be caught up in the memories of the past. There's new memories that need to be had, and if you're not present for those these experiences and these times, then there'll just be memories, and you'll be caught up in that loop of just living in memory constantly. So they want you just to accept certain things and let them go. And with the finding, I feel like the finding, they're like, thank you, Spirit. I feel like the finding, you have to find yourself. There are pieces of yourself that you need to retrieve so that you can become whole, so that you can get the blessings that you need. So with the prosperity, I feel like there's so much more for you to have, so much more for you to experience in this lifetime. But you have to find yourself, pick up pieces of yourself that you've left behind, or you've given energy that you've given to other people. You got to start pulling that back into yourself so you can see and really retrieve the blessings that you deserve. And they're acknowledging your home again. You know how much of a loving space you have created, a safe space you have created for yourself and your family. But I feel like they're bringing my attention to your physical body and your temple. Being aware of making that home as cozy as your external home, because I feel like it isn't. I feel like, your internal body, make sure you're eating well, drinking lots of water, eating fruits and vegetables, working out, taking care of your physical body, and also your mind. Like I said, your thoughts. How are you keeping your home, your body, your temple? Is it toxic, or is it, other thoughts? Are you in peace? Because I tell people there's nothing that the external can do that hasn't been allowed by you. No one can make you fearful. No one can make you angry. No one can make you be in a state of unrest or not feeling peace. That's you. That's all you. Or anxiety, or you're that powerful. I tell people you're the God of your own individual universe. So whatever is happening, you got something to do with it. So that is that. And then we have guidance and some things they will want you to be aware of and work on, and advice and guidance. So you have the Lovers, tune in and connect. So this is nonverbal communication, intuition, and messages. So following your intuition, listening to the messages and the signs and symbols. You have this in reverse. They're like, look, man, we're sending you signs and symbols. You need to be still so that you can connect and let them communicate. You're not answering the call. Explore and travel and live. The call is more so about, I feel like you guys travel and things of that nature, but I also feel like the call for you is more so about your spiritual gifts, not the physical at all. I don't feel like this is physical. I feel like this is all spiritual with you. Your work career, because you're at like a crossroads, and I feel like what you do is a part of your physical passion, but I think there's an aspect of yourself that you're kind of denying, and that's the spiritual one. And I feel like they're bringing a lot of attention to that on this one. I mean, I don't know if you can agree or not, but I feel like they're like, all right, there are parts of yourself. I understand the physical part wants to do this, and it is also a part of your persona and who you are, but your spirit has something that it wants to do and needs to do. And with the Lovers, this is all about them congratulating you on your union and giving you that, and thank you, Spirit, and giving you that understanding of how important this union is, and what this union is going to bring for you, and not only for you, but the people around you, for your community, for the land. I feel like the land benefits from you guys energetically. Like when you guys are together and you're in a good space, and the energy that flows from you guys, I believe, I can see it like heals the land. Yep, I can see that. And this is more confirmation on what I was saying about the whole self, natural remedies, balance, maybe down the line when you feel maybe an ayahuasca or some kind of herbal medicine. I feel like to kind of push you forward. I don't know if you've been feeling called to do ayahuasca or something like that, but this is like a confirmation of moving to the next step on your spiritual journey and taking care of your physical body using herbs and things of that nature. If you need any help with that, I'm definitely the one that can help you with the different herbs and things like that can help you with physical ailments you may have, and eating right and drinking lots of water, eating fruits and vegetables and things of that nature. And then you have the being an open channel. So this is mediumship, ancestors, and spirits. So this is more confirmation about what I was saying to you about being an open channel. They say that you're aware of this already with this being in the upright. Your ancestors have may have come to you in dreams, but I feel like they physically come to you a lot through birds. This is something you need to be open to, because this is what your spirit is calling you to do. This is also part of why you feel that emptiness. I tell people, when the physical body and the persona, because our spirit is not our persona, it's not the character that you're playing this lifetime, right? Your spirit has something to do. So when your spirit is not connected to what is physically happening, it just detaches itself and it becomes a little bit upset, and you get in a place of depression. I tell people, like, I have to go into the void sometimes to retrieve certain parts of myself, because I haven't listened to my spirit. I've let my ego or my mind or this persona crystal guide me instead of my spiritual being. And then, move your body. I feel like you have dance, breathe, and flow. I feel like you have a lot of this, especially when it comes to death, stagnant energy within your body. You need to dance more. Put on some music, dance that energy. Let your intention be for that stagnant energy to flow outside of your body, and not give you backaches and shoulder pains and things like that, or knee pains. This is just stuck energy. That's all. It just needs to flow out. Connect with water. Ocean, water, spirits, hydrate. Yeah, make sure you're drinking lots of water. I feel like I gotta keep telling you that, because I feel like you have a connection with water. I do. Water is my best friend. I swear, when I get sick, I hop in water. Like, I've recently been sick, so I've been sitting in a tub of water, communicating with the spirits of water, because I know it's necessary for my journey, and I know I have this connection with water. I feel like in one lifetime or another, I was water. I know that's weird, but that's just what I feel. I'm not normal. But yeah, and neither are you. You have a connection with water. I don't know if you've ever felt like that, but this is water confirming it. And there are many things you can do with water. I can give you one example. If you take, first of all, anything, water has memory. Water is a living being. And if you communicate and speak over the water, you can change the frequency of the water, right? So let's say you want to work on self-love or health. Start writing affirmations and things on your water bottles. Bless it. Speak over your water. And watch things happen for you. The Holy Mountain. This is where I said you need some isolation or some time alone. I feel like this is a crossroads in your life where you need to be alone. Acknowledging things that need to change within your life or within yourself, going up to that holy mountain and integrating parts of yourself that you may have left behind through your journey. And thunder is one of my favorite, because us being very quiet beings, we have a lot of power. We can bring that thunder into our life when we're not subconsciously aware of dealing with the stuff we need to deal with. And I think that this is, you have that thunder, you have that ability to really shake some shit up. And I think you know this, but this is something that you need to release. I don't know if you have ever been interested in doing like karate or taekwondo or some kind of energy. I feel like that this electricity that is within you has to be released in some way or another. Shooting something, I don't know, I feel like you got to release this energy. I think that's another thing that's kind of pent up within you, and it doesn't have anywhere to go. So that, and last but not least, go with the flow. Let go, rest, and manifest. So yeah, I feel like you have to learn to be a lot more present within your life, and bringing certain awareness to certain people, places, and things. Letting go of things that do not serve you, experiences that do not serve you, things that have happened that have been unfortunate, but coming to a place of acceptance of it, and accepting the higher perspective and the divine plan in it all. Because like I said, we're here to learn, and everything that has happened to us has been predestined and planned for us to learn and grow from. But again, because we have free will, it is woven within our timelines. We have the option to either let it grow, or to let it help us grow, or to let it keep us stagnant, and for parts of ourselves to be stuck in that present moment. All right, so I think that's all I have. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me. I truly do love you guys. You are such a blessing in my life, such a blessing to have come in contact with. And thank you for being so patient with me. Your understanding, your love, and your support is always appreciated. All right, be blessed.